Good morning or good afternoon. I am Yvonne from Colorado, and today is Monday, October 12th. I want to welcome you to the Winner Within coaching call brought to you by the Unit of Prosperity. Today's coach is a devoted husband and father of three who walked away from his well-paying truck driving job to be his own boss full-time. Because of that decision, plus hard work, dedication, and daily action, he is now a multiple six-figure earner who gets to work from home, spend more time with his family, and live life on his own terms. On a mission to help others create their own wealth, he brings tons of value to the industry. He's the creator of several amazing tools and training products. He's the creator of 5-Star Profits, Dropship Mogul, E-Lister Pro, 5,000 FB Friends, and Total Tube Takeover. He's also mastered the art of prospecting and recruiting. He's the host of the No Fear Prospecting Hour, where you get to be a fly on the wall and listen in as he teaches the necessary skills to become a pro at speaking to and closing live prospects and overcoming your fear of rejection. But right now, please grab something to write with to take notes, because he's getting ready to share with us his topic for today: stop waiting, start winning. It is my pleasure to bring to the call Atlanta's own shirt and tie guy, Mr. Jacque T. Morris. Jacque, are you ready?
I am ready! Yeah.
Well, take it away.
All right, so I appreciate that awesome introduction, Yvonne. As always, thank you for doing a phenomenal job in hosting this call. So, good morning, good afternoon, good Monday, good Tuesday, or whatever day it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, many of you know that typically on this call I would say, good morning, UOP, just to blow the lungs out. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something different today. Why am I going to do something different? Because I'm Jacque T. Morris, Atlanta's own shirt and tie guy, and that's just what I do, all right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to put the call, I'm like, literally, because see, this is, like, it's the same, some of the same people, but, man, the call, it is the winner within. So what I want to do before we even get started and get into today's topic of discussion, I want to find out how many winners do we have on the line. That's what I want to know. How many winners are on the line? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the call in the conversation mode, and then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Now, you got to listen. You got to listen, because if you mess this up, then you mess it up, and you only get one chance to get it right with me, because I don't have all day to practice with you, okay? All right, anyway. So I'm going to put the call in conversation mode. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. And what I want you ladies and gentlemen to do, if you're in a position to do so, because some of you may be at work or hiding up under your desk, but if you're in a position to do so, I want you to say, I'm a winner, okay? So we got that. It's going in the conversation mode. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I want to see how many winners are on the line. Therefore, you will say, I'm a winner. So let's put it in the conversation mode real quick.
I'm a winner.
Okay. Totally awesome, totally fun, and some of you still did not listen to 1, 2, 3. But anyway, let me go ahead and get into the call and get into the information, because, as always, I'm super excited. It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta, Georgia. And again, if you have not already done so, I would encourage you to do so. Share this call somewhere. Share the call somewhere. Give the number to your coworker. Say, look, girl, you got to call in. Man, hey, man, you got to get on this call. Share it on Facebook. Just do something. Why? Because today we are going to discuss what topic? Stop waiting, start winning. Stop waiting, start winning. Why? Why are we going to discuss this particular topic? When I come out and I share these calls, again, it is my objective to deliver and share value with you. Also, in doing so, I share a part of myself. I share a part of my experiences. I share a part of my life. I share a part of my business. So it is not for me to come out on this call and exclude myself from the content, but actually I'm a part of the content along with all of you ladies and gentlemen. So start waiting, start winning. It is going to be a recurring theme. You're going to hear me say it several times on today's call, and perhaps by the end you will get the point and you will move from one location to the other. Now, us people, and I say us people because, again, I'm included. By default, we love to procrastinate. Why? Why do we do that? Because we feel as though we always have more time. You know, again, we just feel like that. And I could go through a number of different scenarios, you know, for those that have a job, you know, hey, you're in the bed, it's Monday morning, the alarm clock goes off. What do? You hit the snooze, knowing that you only have a certain amount of time to get to work. I know because I do it. Even though I don't work a job, I still do it in my business. So, okay, like I said, I'm like you, you're like me. We as people, we love to procrastinate because we always feel as though we have more time than actually what's on the clock. But then what happens to us when the time sneaks up on us? What happens? Well, when it sneaks up on us, obviously, you know, we run out of time or we're cutting things close, and it causes us unnecessary, get this word, and again, hopefully you got a pen and piece of paper and you're taking notes because I'm going to throw out more than a few nuggets that you need to catch, and I might rapid fire those nuggets to you. So, again, if you're taking notes, hopefully you'll catch those nuggets quickly. Anyway, so when we're rushing and time sneaks up on us and or we run out of time, it causes us stress. It causes us anxiety. And then sometimes, depending on the importance of what is going on, we'll get that sickening feeling in the pit of our stomach. You know what I'm talking about. That feeling like it's like, oh, I knew I shouldn't have, but I did, and now I got to, you know that feeling. Well, why is it that we feel that way? Because, see, we know, myself included, all of us, we know that deep down inside, we know this, with proper planning, a little bit more forethought, that we could have done better. We could have been not only on time, but we could have been early, but we didn't. So what now? Well, it depends. Each and every one of us have within our control and within our power the opportunity to make different choices and decisions. Obviously, if we keep on doing things the same way and expecting a different result, guess what? That is simply not going to happen. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about your business. Now, again, this is the Winner Within coaching call, and today it's more so going to have a slant toward your business. Yes, your business. Now, what's something else that we could do? You know, we can keep on making excuses because as people, we are full of excuses. Like, the excuses are as prevalent as opinions. We never run out of opinions. We never run out of excuses. However, realize that if we keep on making excuses, those excuses are going to keep us stuck in the rut exactly where we are. Hopefully you got that. So then, make a commitment today. If you have a pen and piece of paper, or if you're on Facebook, I want you to make a commitment today that you are going to stop waiting and start winning. Let's talk a little bit about business real quick. See, in business, a lot of times we say, I'm gonna, or I'm finna. Even though finna is not technically part of the English language, I guess, you know, I would classify it as a Southern soliloquy. However, I've heard individuals that don't even live in the South use the expression finna. And I think we all understand that particular phrase, even though you may not necessarily find that word in the dictionary. So in business, we say, I'm gonna, I'm finna. Or we use these words. And again, perhaps they're familiar to you. I don't know. I know they're very familiar to me. We say things such as woulda, shoulda, coulda. But understand that woulda, shoulda, coulda, they never made a dime. They never made a dime. Think about your business again for just a second. How many new ideas have you heard, let's just say in the past, let's see here, let me think about a time frame, let's say the last 2 weeks. I was going to say 1 week, then I thought about 30 days, so, you know, I said, hey, let's just go right in the middle. In the last 2 weeks, how many new business ideas have you heard? How many new tips or new strategies or new techniques have you either saw on a video, read somewhere on the internet, or maybe you've even spoken to your coach or your mentor or your sponsor, and they've given you these awesome strategies or these awesome techniques, and you said, man, I'm going to try that. You actually wrote them down. You even made a plan. You said, hey, I'm going to do it. I am going to make this happen. Like, this is it. But what is the reality? You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing. You just took the information in and never put it to use. Never applied it. Therefore, you don't really know if it's going to benefit you or not. You think that it is, but again, you haven't matched it with any action. Now, even when it comes to these calls, a lot of times, we come on the calls, we hear excellent information, because we have some phenomenal speakers that come out here and share just all types of tips, strategies, techniques, things, again, on life, things on business. But we get off these calls, we're all pumped up, we're all excited, or maybe we even go to an event. I will always encourage you, get to events. Get to as many events as you can, with the understanding, though, that you can't necessarily get to every event. So I'll encourage you, get to every event that you can. You go to an event, what happens? You're around a bunch of like-minded people. You get all excited. You hear these phenomenal speakers. You receive this phenomenal information. Your brain is flowing. Your body is filled with electricity. You are excited. But then once you leave, once you get off the call, once you leave the event, the helium, it goes out of your balloon. You're sky high when you're on the call. You're sky high at the event. But then when you leave, the helium goes out of the balloon quicker than when it was filled up. Why? Because you're waiting, but you want to start winning. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? Why do we wait? Well, the reality is that many of us are comfortable. Yes, we're waiting because we are comfortable. And you know what? I'll even go one step further and say we are very comfortable with our current situations and our current circumstances, even though they may not be ideal, even though they may not be the ones that we want. We as humans have the natural tendency to fall into complacency because it is easy to be comfortable. And anything, notice I said anything, that has the tendency to move us out of that comfort zone, what do? By default, we resist. But we say that we want to win, though, right? Right. Well, we don't even realize, well, many of us don't even realize, I think some of us do, and again, I had to come full circle with this on my own, throughout the past 4 years that I've been online, but many of us don't even realize that we are resisting, because remember, I said that, anything that moves us out of that comfort zone, just by default, the natural tendency is to resist. However, what we don't realize is that we're actually resisting, ladies and gentlemen, our own success. Think about the number one person above and beyond any that can keep you from winning. Guess who it is? It's you. It's me. It's we. We prohibit ourselves. Again, we're always waiting, but in our minds and in our hearts, we want to be winning. See, here's something that we do. We want things to be perfect, right? We want things to be ideal. We want things to be just so. We want things to be just right. We want our cake. We want our pie. We want our ice cream. We want the whipped cream. Then we want the cherry on top. And then we want the pretty little sprinkles. We want all of that. And then guess what we want to do? We want to eat it too. Yeah, we want to eat it. Now you're probably saying, well, Jacque, what are you talking about? Well, think about this. We want the perfect script before we pick up the phone. We want the perfect script. We want the exact words. We want every rebuttal. We just want it all. And if we don't have it all, or if we feel like we don't have it all, then guess what? We're waiting. We're waiting. What are we waiting for? We're waiting for the perfect script. We want the perfect website or, capture page or landing page before we actually start marketing it and putting it out there on the internet for people to visit it. We want the perfect video. Some of us, we've tried to make videos, or we'll make videos and then we'll say something wrong, or one of our many imperfections may shine through, and we're like, okay, I'm going to start over. We'll start the video over 7 times before we actually produce something that we're going to share with the world, if we even produce something at all. Or, for those that may blog, or, again, maybe even offline marketing, advertising, it's always something. Okay, what do I put on it? This doesn't sound just right. Well, guess what? We need to take more imperfect action. More imperfect action is going to produce you more results than just sitting around waiting. Why? Because we are waiting on something that, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to be straightforward with you because that's what I have a tendency to do. I'm going to be very transparent with you. We are waiting on something that will never happen if we truly expect to win. And do you want to know what that is? Do you know what it is that we're waiting on? We are waiting on perfection. And guess what? It ain't. Yes, I'm in the South, and we do use ain't. I do know I do know some other words to put in there, but I'm saying this word for emphasis. Why? Because it ain't going to happen. It's not going to be perfect. A lot of times it's going to be so imperfect. It's going to be so discombobulated. It's going to be so confusing and so whatever until you actually take the action and then have some type of measurable results. Think about it for just a moment. We're waiting for just the right time. Just the right time. Okay, what is today? Monday? You know what? I'm going to really get started in applying those strategies and techniques in my business tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow is going to be a better day because that's Tuesday. Tuesday is better than Monday, and, the probability of me creating success on Tuesday versus Monday, because people's mindset, I think you get the point, right? So we're waiting for just the right time. We're waiting for just the right person. Again, we're waiting for just the right day of the week. We're waiting for just the right weather conditions. Yes, I am taking it a little further, but I'm doing so for emphasis. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stop waiting and start winning. To produce a result that you've never, ever, ever produced before, it's going to take an action that you probably have never taken, or that you've probably never put forth the effort to master. It just is what it is. And that's what you have to understand if you are truly committed to winning. Okay? Now, I would say this past weekend, it was actually last Thursday, last Friday, so I'm just going to share this with you. And again, hopefully, many of you will really, really get the point and the thrust of what I'm saying. So, last Thursday and Friday, me, my son, and one of my good friends and business partners, Mr. Charles White, we went to the Southern Women's Show over in Birmingham, Alabama. And there we went and actually sold product face-to-face, or some individuals use the terminology belly-to-belly. Now, understand that there were thousands of individuals at this event. Thursday, the traffic was light. Friday, the traffic was moderate. And then Saturday and Sunday, even though I wasn't present, from what I understand, the traffic was heavy. So understand, again, that there were thousands of individuals at this event. And there were, hundreds, if not thousands of people that walked by our booth. Now, again, I'm going to be very transparent with you. It's been years, absolutely years, since I've worked in that type of an environment for an extended period of time. And when I say years, like literally it takes me back to when I used to sell clothes at a mall here on the south side of Atlanta called South Lake Mall. And, again, I'm not going to get into the details of all that, but here's what I want you to notice. First, there was my mindset before I went to the event. And what was that mindset? The mindset was basically this. I didn't drive nearly 200-plus miles to sit in a chair and let everyone look at my shirt and tie. Now, granted, I'm a shirt and tie guy, and, hey, I wear what I wear, and I do what I do. But, again, I didn't drive 200 miles to sit in a chair and let everybody look at my shirt and tie. Second, I knew in my mind of mind, in my hearts of hearts, what I was capable of, but understand, ladies and gentlemen, it was not easy. It wasn't easy. Why? Because, see, I'm super duper comfortable talking on the phones. I'll talk on the phones all day and all night. Like, I absolutely love talking on the phones. And not to say that I don't love, sharing information with people face-to-face, belly-to-belly, and being in those type of environments, but understand that my comfort zone is on the phones because that's just what I do on a more regular basis, if you will. Now, in order to sell face-to-face, belly-to-belly, in order to be productive, at a trade show or any other type of, health and wellness fair or event, it's going to call for you, just as it was for me, it's going to call for us to become uncomfortable. Let me give you $1 million tip here. I'm going to give you $1 million tip, and hopefully everybody can write this down. And if you can't write it down, hopefully you can at least remember a portion of it. Here's the tip. If you can get over your ego, you know that television commercial talking about those waffles, Lego my ego. Well, if you can Lego your ego, again, your ego, and don't take rejection personally, you can earn whatever you desire in this industry. There's $1 million tip. Now, do I have to have earned $1 million in order for me to give you that $1 million tip? No, not at all. Why? Because I am on my way to $1 million, and this is something that is very, very, very simple. You may have heard it put another way, said differently, expressed with different words. I don't know. But here's the bottom line. If you can let go your ego, meaning you can get over your ego, and don't take rejection, because, see, that's the one thing that many of us fear. That's the one thing that probably, above and beyond anything, we don't want to experience. But if you can get to the point where you don't take rejection personally, you'll earn whatever you want to earn in this industry. Now, you may be saying, Jacque, how can that be? Here's how. 97% of the people in this industry of direct sales and network marketing don't handle rejection very well, and therefore they won't excel. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I just gave it to you. Just gave it to you on a silver platter. Did you reach your hands out and readily receive it? Let me repeat that to you again. 97% of the people in this industry of direct sales and network marketing don't handle rejection very well, and therefore they won't excel. If you want to excel in this industry, if you want to stop waiting and start winning, you have to start putting yourself in a position to handle rejection. You have to start building those extra layers of skin. I actually built a few extra layers of skin this past weekend at the event. It was phenomenal. Now, you're faced with a choice. Like everybody that's on this call, anybody that's listening to the recording, whoever, wherever, it doesn't matter. You are faced with a choice. And that choice is this. Do you want to win or do you want to wait? Do you want to win or do you want to wait? With the understanding that to win, and to win big, there's a certain amount of work and rejection that has to take place. It just is what it is. It's the facts. The longer you wait, guess what? The more difficult it is going to become for you to get over the hump. Why? Again, you may be saying, why is that? Because your excuse pile, and realize, that you're building like two stacks or two piles here. I don't know why I said the word pile, but again, it is what it is. Your excuse pile will become bigger than your pleasure pile. You see, you'll have all these excuses, and they'll grow so big, they'll become like a hump, then there'll be a hill, then there'll be a mountain. And then your pleasure pile, it'll be so small and so insignificant. Again, you'll compare the two, and you'll just be like, you know what? Look at all those excuses. I have a mountain full of excuses. And you know what? It's just too big. And I'm just going to keep waiting. And then I'm going to be wondering, why am I not winning? Now, let's go back to this past weekend because, again, I want you to really get the sense of what I'm sharing with you here. There were so many people, ladies and gentlemen, because remember I told you there were thousands of people that came through the event, and I'm sure there were more than a few thousand or, way more than a few hundred that actually passed our booth. But there were so many people that told me no. Yes, they told me no. The Shirt and Tie Guy, Atlanta's own. They told me no. They told me no. Now, there were other individuals that said, I'll think about it. Have any of you ever heard that? Has someone that you shared your products, your service, or your company with told you, I'll think about it? There were also a lot of individuals that told me, I'll come back later. And then there were those individuals that said, I'm not interested. Again, there were many people that told me no. Many people that told me I'll think about it. Some said I'll come back later. Others said I'm not interested. But guess what? There were also a certain amount of individuals that told me yes. There were also a certain amount of individuals that told my son, my 11-year-old son that I took with me, Jacque Morris II. They told him yes. There were also a certain amount of individuals that told my business partner and friend, Charles White, yes. There were also a certain amount of individuals that told my other friends and business partners, Reginald and Sandra Stinson, yes. But guess what? We all heard the other side of the coin. You see, understand that the proportion of yeses in various environments, and again, it just really depends. In certain environments, the proportion of yeses are going to be significantly lower than the no's. Why? I want you to get this. This is something that you have to write down. You got to write this down. Check this out. Man, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. Understand that the proportion of yeses in most circumstances are always going to be significantly lower than the no's, and here's why. I want you to get this. Because every rock is not a diamond. Wow, did you get that? I want you to put that on Facebook. I want you to, look, you don't have to hashtag, but put it on Facebook. Tag me in it. Every rock, ladies and gentlemen, is not a diamond. That's why diamonds are so rare, because they are a very unique rock. That's why you're on the call, because you're a very unique individual. And understand that no's and rejection, that's all a part of the process. So if you stop waiting to get to those no's, then you're going to start winning, because you're going to start receiving more of the yeses. Again, every rock is not a diamond, and there's a reason for that. You see, the yeses are out there. But many of us, myself included at times, we're waiting on them to come to us. And then we wonder, we sit around, we twiddle our thumbs, we twiddle our pens, our pencils, we get on Facebook, and we wonder, why in the world are we not winning? It's because we're waiting. You see, the overwhelming majority of the sales that I made at that event in Birmingham, I made them, here's why. Number one, because I was present, because I showed up. Hey, I showed up. I was there, okay? But again, I could have sat down in the chair and said, hey, Shirt and Tie Guy, people are going to come to me, but I didn't do that. Again, the overwhelming majority of the sales that I made was because I initiated the contact. You see, a lot of the people that I spoke to, more than likely, they were not even going to stop at our particular booth. They were just going to walk by. You see, there were hundreds of booths there for them to visit and to look at and to get distracted by. However, I gave them a reason, and the reason was me, to stop. So here's my question. Are you giving people a reason to stop and take a look at what you, your products, your services, or your business has to offer? Think about that for just a moment. Are you giving people a reason to stop and take a look at what it is that you have to offer? Or again, are you just simply waiting for people to come to you, excuse me, and then you're wondering, why in the world am I not winning? Now, I want you to think about your business. And again, I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to be honest with yourself, and here's a question. How many people am I initiating contact with on a regular basis? Now, we could break this down to a day. We could break it down to a week. We could break it down to a month. Again, I'll let you actually determine how you want to break it down. Therefore, I'm just saying, hey, on a regular basis. I don't know what's regular to you. I don't know how bad you want to win. I don't know how often you want to win. Again, the question is, in reference to your business, because, again, understand, the coaching call here, winner within, like every one of you have the ability to win. So how many people am I, that's the question, initiating contact with on a regular basis? Because understand, the vast majority of individuals that purchase product from me at that particular event, I initiated the contact. See, here's something else I want you to get. This is very important. If you don't initiate the contact, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't initiate the contact with the yeses, because understand, they're out there. Yeah, it's a lot of rocks, it's a lot of no's, but the diamonds are out there. But if you don't initiate the contact with the yeses, guess what? Someone else will. If you don't do it, somebody else will. There were so many people that we met at the event that were already familiar with the products. They were already familiar with the products. But, somebody didn't either follow up with them, somebody, didn't go into full detail with them. Again, just understand that if you're not out there initiating contact, sharing information, sharing your testimonials, product experiences, whatever it is that you need to do to get in front of people, understand that somebody else is going to do it. And here's the bottom line. For whatever reason, and again, I don't know the reason, you're waiting, and then you're wondering, why am I not winning? So what do we need to do? We need to stop waiting and start winning. Now, what are some reasons? And again, I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about your business and everything that you have going on. What are some reasons that you have for winning? Now, I want you to write them down because I want you to be able to see your reasons. A lot of times what happens is we think about our reasons, and then we even think that we know our reasons. But to make it clearly defined in your heart and mind, write them down on a piece of paper. Write down, why do I want to win? That's your question. Why do I want to win? And then I want you to write down your own answer. Now, here's the next question. And this is pretty cool right here. What am I willing to do to win? That's the next question. What am I willing to do to win? And once you write that question down, I want you to write down 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you write down the question, what am I willing to do to win? And then up under that, I want you to write down 1 through 5, okay? That's what I want you to do. Maybe I should have grabbed some water, because anyway. So give me just a second here. Okay, all right, excellent. So you wrote down your questions. First, you have why do I want to win? And again, you're writing down your reasons, you're writing down your answer. And then the next question, what am I willing to do in order to win, or what am I willing to do to win? And then you wrote down 1 through 5. Now, I'm going to give you the answers. This is, I guess we could say, it's not even an open book test, but I'm going to give you I gave you the question, now I'm going to give you the answer, but I'm only going to give you the 1 through 5. What am I willing to do to win? On 1 through 5, here's what I want you to write down. Get this. On number 1, I want you to write down whatever it takes. On number 2, I want you to write down whatever it takes. On number 3, I want you to write down whatever it takes. On number 4, I want you to write down whatever it takes. On number 5, I want you to write down whatever it takes. You see, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times what we do is we put, let's see, what is the word that I want to use? Oh, we put restrictions and or limitations on the things that we're willing to do, but in the back of our minds, we want to win big. We want to win real big. But again, we put restrictions and limitations on the things that we do, and we expect to win big. If we really, and I mean really, really If we really want to win, we have to have the mindset. We have to have the attitude. We have to have the disposition that we're willing to do whatever it takes. When you talk to successful people, when you see that they're succeeding, and you ask them, hey, what did you do, or what are you doing, and they share it with you, then go ahead and immediately apply it. Do whatever it is that they're doing. That's one of the easiest ways to win. That's one of the easiest ways to create success. Find somebody that's successful and model what they're doing. You don't have to do it the exact same way, but again, you have to do something. See, a lot of times, again, what happens to us is we think that it's some secret. We think that it's something magical. We think that it's something mystical. So we go around and we ask everybody. And then guess what? We go around and we ask everybody, and then we come back to the same, or we come back to the same place where we started, which is with ourselves. And guess what? We still haven't done anything else except for go around the circle and ask, 5 people, 10 people, 15, 20, 25, however many it is. What are you doing to create success? What are you doing to create success? What are you doing to create success? We get all the way back around to ourselves, and we haven't done anything with what we received. Again, just referencing back to the show, many of you are, familiar with Reginald Stinson, the founder of the UOP, goes by the Hope Giver. Guess what? Despite any amount of money he's earned, despite any amount of leadership title that he's obtained, nobody at that particular show knew the amount of money that he earned. Nobody at that show knew any titles or anything like that he had. Guess what he did? Guess what he did? The exact same thing that we were doing. See, again, successful people are willing to do whatever it takes. They're willing to do whatever it takes. And one thing, I've commended, Reginald and, a lot of the other leaders, but again, this is someone that doesn't just, preach to the choir, so to speak. This is someone that doesn't just talk the talk. He walks the walk. He walks the walk. And again, many of us want the success. We want to talk about the success, but we don't want to go down the trail. We don't want to go down the trail. We don't want to take the walk. We're not willing to do whatever it takes. Man, I'm actually... You know what? I didn't know I've been on the phone this long. Anyway, all right, so let me go ahead and wrap things up here. Now, here's the deal. If you're not willing to do whatever it takes, then you're waiting. And if you're tired of waiting on your time, your season, or your boat to come in, or however it is that you want to describe it, then here's what you need to do. You need to get insanely uncomfortable with your circumstances and situation and go out and start winning. You see, winners understand that there is sacrifice and pain that comes before the reward. We just understand that, and that's why we go out and win. Now, here's a harsh reality. There are many of us that are in pain anyway. Again, we're not even making the sacrifice, and we're not even going through the pain in order to go down that road so we can start winning. We're already in pain anyway. And it's pain, unfortunately, again, because all of our circumstances are different, but it's pain, ladies and gentlemen, that many of us have brought upon ourselves. So if we've brought the pain upon ourselves, then why not man up? Why not woman up and commit to bringing ourselves the relief? We have the vehicles. We have the systems, we have the tools, we have the network, we have the coaches, we have the mentors, we have everything that we can need, want, and or desire in order to create success and start winning, but we're not. And why? Because, again, we're waiting. We want to point the fingers. We want to point the fingers at other individuals. We want to blame other people. We want to make excuses. However, when we point that finger, when we blame others, when we make excuses, those are things that understand are indicative of individuals that are waiting. Why? Because they're waiting for someone else to actually justify them in their actions. Or we're waiting for somebody else to justify us in our actions, regardless of how positive or how negative the actions may be. So what do we need to do? We need to stop waiting and start winning. In network marketing, many of you have probably heard the phrase or the terminology used, a big fish. You know, that's somebody that recruits a lot of people, or somebody that has this huge network, somebody that if we could just get this one particular person on our team, we would be insanely successful. Well, guess what? Here's what you need to do. In network marketing, stop waiting on the big fish to come in and go out there and become a big fish. Stop waiting for people to call you about your products and ask them, would they be willing to experience the phenomenal health benefits that your products offer? Stop waiting on your check to increase and start making your check increase based on your daily actions of becoming uncomfortable. Are you going to settle for less than the best in your life and in your business? That's what happens to a lot of us. We continue to wait. So that continues to make us settle versus going out there and taking the needed action to win. So I ask you again, are you going to settle for less than the best? Because that's what you absolutely deserve. You deserve the best. And it's available for you, me, and anybody else that wants to take advantage of it. So let me just sum things up this way. And here's what I'm going to say. You've already heard me say it today. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it to you one more time because it's really, really simple. Stop waiting, start winning, because you absolutely and unreservedly deserve success. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jacque T. Morris, Atlanta Zone, shirt and tie guy, and this is the Winner Within Coaching Call. If indeed, now just stay with me for just a moment here. If indeed you are a winner, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a post on your Facebook wall. I always ask you to do this. And only like 2, 3, sometimes 5 people even follow through. But again, if you are a winner, here's what I want you to do. Make a post on your Facebook wall, tag me in the post, and let the world know that you indeed are a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, we do the Winner Within coaching calls Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I cordially invite you back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Monday. Make it a fun day. Make it a winning day. And ladies and gentlemen, commit to yourselves. Commit to winning, not just today, not just this week, not just this month, but for the rest of your lives. Because as long as you're still breathing, and as long as there's still time on the clock, and if you stop waiting, then beyond a shadow of a doubt, your opportunities to win are going to abound. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time.